All right, kids. We're back with another one. Another thing that I said that I don't normally do. Another reaction video / review / whatever these are. It's the thing that the kids do these days. I always say that I don't do these often, but they're becoming more often as more music becomes more interesting in the world, which is great. So it's a good thing, and we're gonna get into it here in just a minute. Let's roll this intro because I think that's customary and what we're supposed to do at the beginning of these episodes. So.
The following is a Goulash Media production. goulashmedia.net.
I'll make questionable decisions. I'll be invisible as soul. Judge me for my sins. If I'm your image.
All right. I had no intention of doing this. I didn't know this was coming out. In fact, there's a new Tom MacDonald video that just dropped earlier today, and I almost did a reaction for that, but I decided not to. It wasn't really, sometimes I'm in the mood, sometimes I'm not in the mood. It was for White Boy, or his new track is White Boys, I believe is the title of it. And my brief recap of that is it was good. I liked it. Tom had some cool new flows and some stuff, and I feel like the Adam Calhoun, I feel like he did way better on this than I think he gelled better on this than he did on the last one, New World Order. I know that's not what you didn't click on this to get a Tom MacDonald review, but I didn't have enough to make a full episode or a full breakdown of it, but I watched it and I had my thoughts, so we'll throw them here just 'cause it's my show. But yeah, it was cool. I liked Tom MacDonald had some new different flows that aren't typical for him. I thought it was fun and interesting and edgy, and yeah, it was cool. Like it wasn't anything too deep or thought-provoking or anything. Just like, hey, we're badasses and that's what we do. There are certainly some things I'm sure the media will pick up and turn into racial issues about racial violence. They weren't, but I'm sure somebody will try and spin it that way. Go check it out. Check out Tom MacDonald's new track, White Boys. Interesting choice. I dig it. It's cool. Not my favorite, but hey, it's all good. Anyway, we are here to talk about something else today. We're doing a reaction to... So I didn't do a reaction for that because I wasn't in the mood for it, but I liked the track and everything and watched it. And then the day goes on. I do some other things, do some podcasting stuff that you can get in the Downers Club, actually. There's the Boba Fett recaps for episodes 2 through 6 are going up there today. So patreon.com/The System Is Down. If you want to hear some Boba Fett recaps and some more entertainment type stuff. Normally we talk about the controversial shit on this show and have some fun with it, but sometimes we do some pop culture things, and this kind of falls into both because our boy 5 Times August, who was just on the show a week or two ago, put out a new song that I didn't see coming. So the Tom MacDonald thing, and then I'm just going about my day, and then I was in the mood because I was already doing some podcasting stuff, and YouTube's like, hey, there's a new 5 Times August song, and I was like, oh, cool. That's interesting. I wonder what he's up to. And then I see the title, and it's here. Let me switch this. It's Anti-Fascist Blues. So I think that's kind of how we're gonna do this whole reaction thing. I know this is way too long of an intro. Sorry, but that's kind of how I'm gonna do these reaction things. Like I have my artists that have been on the show. That's the first step the first hurdle that you have to overcome in order for me to care about doing a reaction. Maybe. I mean, I might not always stick to that rule because if Eminem's doing some controversial shit, I know I'm not going to get him on the show, but I might do some reactions to that. But yeah, you gotta have been on the show as of now, and you have to have a title that really gets my interest. And New World Order, of course, did for obvious reasons, and Anti-Fascist Blues definitely piqued my interest really quickly, and I was like, hey, we might as well hit record because I'm going to have some things to say about this, I'm sure. His last one, if you're not familiar, he started out, you can go listen to the entire episode. I interviewed him and it was a great conversation, but he started out as like kind of pop stuff, kind of, I guess, love song, Jason Mraz, Dashboard Confessional type things. And he more recently moved into doing some political protesting type songs like Sad Little Man, Joe, a bunch of others that I can't think of, but they're all great. All the great songs, all the best songs. But yeah, Anti-Fascist Blues is what we're watching today, and we're going to find out what this is. Does it stack up to the Sad Little Man? I honestly, I hope that it has the animation from type style of Sad Little Man, because I think that's such an awesome and unique, and he does a great job at it. He does all his own animation and everything. So enough of that. Let's get into what you're actually here for, which is this Anti-Fascist Blues by 5 Times August. And actually, I will say one more thing that I was thinking of after I saw this. I went to pee, and then I had a thought in my mind that I'll share with you now. This is, he's getting bold, poking fun of Fauci and all that. He's gotten taken down for that, for misinformation, even though it doesn't say, or medical misinformation. He got that video removed, even though it doesn't say anything really about COVID. It doesn't say anything about Fauci in the lyrics or anything. So people are out to get this guy already. YouTube doesn't like him, and now he's focusing his efforts on Antifa, it would seem. So dude's got some balls, because Fauci's not going to come burn down 5 Times August's house anytime soon, but you never know these days. We live in a strange time. All right, let's watch this. Okay. More upbeat already. Full band sound, which is different for him lately. He's done full band stuff in the past, so this is cool. And we're going with the similar animation. I guess this is a lyric video. I didn't even notice that, but same idea. Here we go. Starting right out the gate, we've got pictures of Joe Biden shaking his fist with a Hitler mustache on him. So before the lyrics even start, already pretty strong visuals and messaging here.
Head down, pick yourself a pronoun, join the resistance on government assistance, stop all the hate as you advocate violence, block.
This is a really different style all around. It's called blues, but yeah, real bluesy feel, and much more upbeat than some of his previous work. But yeah, he comes out the gate talking about join the resistance, everybody pick your pronouns. He's going folk bluesy Tom McDonald here so far. What was that? Stop
all the hate as you advocate violence, block and suppress anyone who wants silence.
Block and suppress anyone who wants silence. That's definitely the case right now. I mean, we've got the biggest name in podcasting, and basically the biggest name in journalism, who isn't even a journalist, who doesn't even claim to be a journalist or a newsman of any kind, Joe Rogan, who CNN is competing against now and failing miserably. We've got that all going on where they're trying to silence him, and the only thing he's done is question the king. He doesn't even make bold statements. He just has people on that question the king, and by has people on, I mean out of like almost 2,000 episodes of the Joe Rogan Show, I think we're up to, I don't even know, well over 1,500 episodes that are like 3-hour-long episodes. He's had on like 2 recently that question the mainstream narrative, and that is enough for them to point their guns at Joe Rogan. I'm not sure why we're talking about Joe Rogan, but the ADHD sometimes kicks in, and that's I like to think that's part of the charm of this show. But they don't care about Joe Rogan having controversial guests on. They care about Joe Rogan having controversial guests that are their controversy is that they disagree with the king's narrative, because that is where it becomes dangerous, especially when you have 10 times the numbers of CNN.
Take what you want, 'cause what you want is what you own. Call everyone a fascist till they're all controlled.
Okay, so to the audio listeners, I don't know why you would listen to an audio recap of me watching a video, but hey, there are some of you out there. Yeah, we're continuing with the animation. He's got, I don't know who that guy is in the top right. Is that Gavin Newsom? And we got Jen Psaki, and we've got AOC and Bernie Sanders, and yeah. putting different hats on them, let's say. Different hats of different militaries from history.
Preach in the street for the Communist Party. Pro-choice, no voice, never mind the heartbeat. Dictate, race bait, agitate, mandate.
He's going all in here. Bringing up pro-life versus pro-choice stuff. Never mind the heartbeat. Dictate, race bait, mandate, agitate, all that stuff. Good stuff. Oh, and he's even got, what's his name? This guy, this old guy. What is his name? The evil villain in all the conspiracy stories. Don't remember. But this is Gavin Newsom, and what's his name? Damn. Juicy Smoulier, and I don't know who that is up top.
Dress and drag and burn the flag, then run and find a safe space. Tell us.
Dress and drag and burn the flag and run to find a safe space. I like it.
How you feel until we give you what you need. Call everyone and press it till they're on their knees.
I like how he puts frickin' Colin Kaepernick there with next to Nancy Pelosi and her pandering African garb. Oh shit! I'm now realizing, and that's next to frickin' Derek Chauvin. So he's not even making hard like left or right. What's the word? Partisan. He's not making a hard partisan stance. He's saying, look at all these stupid people. Because a lot of right-wingers are pro-cop for some reason, and I like that he's putting that up. All those three up side by side, calling everyone oppressive till they're on their knees.
Impeach free speech, better dye your hair pink.
Impeach free speech, better dye your hair pink. Sorry, I keep pausing. There's a lot going on here, a lot to break down. I don't want to have to go back. I'll definitely be going back to listen to this on my own, and you should too. But yeah, he's got Donald Trump. I was just going back because Donald Trump was there, and like I brought up in the interview, I was like, you're not going to become like just a Trump guy, right? You're not going to be doing like the Trump theme song for 2024 or something. He assured me that he was not. I have my issues with Trump. I think he was better than Biden, but I also think he was an absolute train wreck. But he was above a lot of the standards that we have for presidents, mostly because he didn't get us into more wars. Like the best things that Trump did were not when he wasn't doing the things. The best things about him was that he wasn't doing the things that other people have done as presidents. But anyway, whatever. So impeach free speech.
Better dye your hair pink. TV, phone screen, it's better if you don't think. Debt to universities, segregate diversity. Give yourself a ribbon every time you face adversity.
Give yourself a ribbon every time you face adversity. And he's got the trans lifter there. Very effeminate. I think that's definitely a woman. Trans lifter, bodybuilder there. Find another problem, tell yourself you're not alone. And he put in the work, bro. He put in the work. He's got all these sign cutouts. The future isn't binary. Abortion is a right. Sex work is real work, not my president. No justice, no peace. Abolish the police. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. All that stuff. All that stuff. I could go on rants about each one of them individually, but just subscribe to the show if you want more, because I have my thoughts on everything, and that's not what you came here for right now. Not alone, tell everyone is straight that they're all transphobe. Yep. Defund police, no guns, oh please. Fight for your right to start a war until there's no peace. All right, defund police. No, what was it? No guns. I missed it. Here we go. Defund the police. No guns. Oh please. So he's talking about people want the police to be abolished. No protection from them. I have my issues with the police. That's certain. But if you take away the police and you also take away the guns from us, then what do you have left? You just have the upper class with guns, and then you have the lower class that just have to do what they're told. They don't have any choice or any ability to do anything about it. So that's cool. I like that he has that. There was another point I was going to make, but I don't know. Oh, he's got back here. He's got like Zuckerberg and Wojcicki and Twitter guy, whatever. I don't remember his name. I know his name. I can't think of it. Whatever. Who cares? Let's keep going.
Please, no guns, oh please. Fight for your right to start a war until there's no peace.
Fight for your right. Start a war until there's no peace. Let me see. Fight for your right to start. Okay. Fight for your right to start a war until there's no peace. Yeah. Yeah, I dig it.
Please take it down, tear it up. It's in the name of progress. Make the rule you never lose till everything is lawless. Tell me what they're thinking, how to feel and where to go. Cause everyone's a fascist still, they're all controlled.
Yes, even truckers are fascist these days. I don't know if you heard or saw the political cartoon where it was about the Canadian trucker convoy, and it's just trucks that say fascist on the side of them. The laziest political cartoon I've ever seen in my life. Just like your point has been made because you put a truck with a word on it. The end. That's all we need to know. Yeah, it's also interesting and kind of hilarious that these truckers are considered fascists for not doing their jobs and for driving their trucks. Meanwhile, we have an entire culture that is saying we don't want to work. We should get paid. We shouldn't have to work to get paid because that makes a lot of economic sense. We shouldn't have to work. We're sick of working, but we want to get paid. We want the minimum wage to go up, and we also don't want to do anything. And also, if these people decide to strike or protest or leave their job just driving and protest, then that's fascism right there. These people that just don't want to work, or they do want to work, actually. The problem is that they're not allowed to work. Literal fascism is preventing the truckers from being able to do their jobs without taking some experimental vaccine that wouldn't be considered a vaccine 3 years ago. But I digress. That is considered fascism there. But not the Black Lives Matter stuff. Like that, if you don't like that, you're a racist. So I agree with a lot of what he's saying here, and I think it's great. And there's a lot of discussion to be had for sure. And it looks like we've got CNN coming down here to take their place as they would right after talking about everyone's a fascist, and they're all controlled. We got all the CNN guys here. How many of them do you think have scandals that are about to come out? I mean, Don Lemon's already got one. Is that Wolf? Not Wolf. What's his name? Anderson Cooper? Does he have one already? I feel like he did, but I could be wrong. And Brian Stelter and some angry guy that I don't know. Find your path in life and make a socio a psycho. No. Man, I want to take a minute to read these. I hate to keep stopping them, but there's a lot here. Find your path in life, but make socio or psycho. Find your path in life, but make it socio or psycho. So find your path, be yourself, but make sure. So he's saying if your path in life, like if a woman's path in life is to be a stay-at-home mom and cook and clean and stuff like that, she is typically shamed in a lot of circles these days, and it's just, everything's on its head. You can be yourself, and you can be whatever you want to be, but it's got to be within these parameters, and these parameters are constantly shifting, and these parameters include you believing whatever we tell you any given day, and if you stray outside that, your path in life means nothing. And this goes to, they call, or they say that there's no such thing as anti-racism or racism against white folks. So you can't be no, what was it? They say you shouldn't be racist against black people or something, and then they say that Candace Owens is white, or the black face of white supremacy that they called Larry Elder and all that. Whenever somebody disagrees with them, it's perfectly fine to, slander these people. Their lives matter, their voices matter until they are outside of this very narrow, ever-shifting box of narratives. And that's my tangent that wandered off on its own. I'll see if I can find it later. Nonsense, wokeness, you're gonna lose your mind though. Bigotry, insanity, an ally or an enemy. There's too much masculinity, so wave goodbye to family. There's too much masculinity, so wave goodbye to family. Yes, that is a big part of what's going on here. in my opinion, I mean, frickin' Black Lives Matter. It was in their like statement of principles or their goal or whatever was to disrupt the nuclear family, which is a mom, dad, and kids. Happy, 50s family, traditional, whatever. Now we've got if you're a man and you act like a man, then you're toxic. Also, if you are a man and you don't if you don't do the good things about manhood, I don't know. Are there people out there that are pissed off if a guy pays for the date or holds the door open or, pays child support and stuff like that? I'm not sure, but I would imagine that should all fall under toxic masculinity, right? Because we all have to be women. Also, does toxic masculinity does that apply to trans women? Can they get toxic masculinity? Can they take enough testosterone that it becomes toxic? I'm not sure how it works, but yeah. So wave goodbye to family, it says, and yeah, that's where we're at.
Represent the 1% who want to overthrow till everybody lives in an autonomous zone.
Yep, represent the 1%. That represent the 1%. What was the end of that line? Represent the 1% who want to overthrow. And he's got Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates and what's his face? Same dude from George Soros. Yeah, he's got all those, and yeah, that is the real issue. As I've talked about many times on this show, the real issue is not black versus white, Republican versus Democrat, all these things that they want you to focus on. It's not, gay versus straight or anything. Like all these actual issues that if we were all left alone to just coexist together, most of us would not care at all. We would all just live happily and peacefully. It is focused on, laser focused and magnified to the nth degree by businesses, organizations like CNN, Fox News, all of the corporate media, and all these people. The reason why they focus on it isn't because there's some evils in the world that need to be exposed. It's because they're creating their own evil. They're keeping us fighting against each other. If they actually cared about us, like, why wouldn't they be harboring peace and trying to make us more peaceful? Why do they focus all of their efforts on making us angry at each other? I think personally it's to keep us from focusing on who is actually making our lives more miserable and who is pushing this civil war, and that's the 1%, the 1%ers, the elites. This is a class warfare here. It has nothing to do with skin color or gender or anything. It has to do with them saying, hey guys, here's some more meat, fight over it, and we'll be back when we need to, just to keep us in our place, keep us docilized, so we don't focus on actually the issues, the people who are causing it. You notice how when you come at the king with things like January 6th, I don't approve of what happened there, but they care way more about that than they do burning, looting, and rioting. And they care. They don't care about the burning, looting, and rioting until they show up at a politician's house saying things or doing things or whatever. Then suddenly these people are dangerous and they need to lock it down. I don't remember which governor it was, but they were like they were doing the BLM thing of a year and a half ago or whenever, and the mayor didn't care, and then the protest showed up at her house, and suddenly it was a big deal, and the cops need to be called in. That's how this works. That's how all of this goes. It is class warfare, 100%, and it's to keep us from focusing on the king as the issue, from focusing on the king and his nakedness, I would say.
Till everybody lives in an autonomous zone.
Oh, wow. I wonder if he had Whoopi in there already. But timely. Good throw in at the last minute. But he's got Jimmy Kimmel, Howard Stern, Whoopi Goldberg, and Neil Young here.
Act tough, steal stuff, smash another window, loot store, get more, grab another brick, go. She, her, he, him, they, them, they, them, women are the men now, and the men are now the women.
Damn. Yeah. It's interesting. I thought he was just going with the title of this, I was like, oh, he's just going at Antifa because it opens with an Antifa flag. I mean, it is all part of the same ball of wax here, the same clusterfuck. But yeah, he's got the people that were on Dr. Phil up against Matt Walsh, trans people. I don't like. I'm not trying to be a dick here. I don't know what they identify as, and I'm actually trying to be polite, and that's where society has gone to, where me trying to be polite makes it sound like I'm actually being a dick, because I legitimately don't know what you prefer to be called, so I'm gonna say, I don't know. I think that one was initially a dude, and that one was initially a chick. I don't know. I don't really care.
Make yourself a slave until you feel like you are free. Dig yourself a grave for the American dream.
Dig yourself a grave of the American dream. Make yourself a slave until you're free. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, no matter what happens with all this COVID stuff, it's not going to go away from compliance. And as y'all know, I've been saying that since the beginning, but or close to the beginning. I'll be honest. There was a couple weeks there where I wasn't entirely sure where this was going, but I wasn't cleaning my groceries. My wife was. But because that's her role as a woman. No, just kidding. Where was I going? Oh, the make yourself a slave until you're free. Do you say until you feel like you're free? Let me see. Until you feel like you're free. Okay. So, yeah, you think that all this compliance is what's going to they've been saying it since the beginning. If you do this thing, it's going to go back to normal. Now we have articles. We just talked about it on one of last week's episodes, or earlier this week's episode. I don't know. Time has no meaning. But one of the episodes talked about this article where it's like, I am triple vaxxed. I've followed all the rules basically, and I've had COVID. I have antibodies. Can I go back to normal now? Like, people are legitimately asking that question. They've complied all along the way, and all along the way, I've said, hey, they're just gonna keep going. There is no, like, the new normal is not anything remotely resembling the old normal if this goes according to their plan. The new normal is you compliant and you being brainwashed into wearing masks and taking vaxes whenever you're told to, and it doesn't matter. Nothing has changed. We can't even look at the statistics and see that we can't even see like major spikes or major dips based on who was complying and who wasn't complying. We've got other countries like frickin' Israel who was all masked up. Almost 100% of the entire population was vaxxed, allegedly, and spikes all around. It's not being stopped, and we have to deal with that. So the compliance you can never comply your way out of fascism. You can never comply your way out of totalitarianism or any of this stuff. Their drive, their goal, in their positions of power, their goal is to obtain more power, and that should not be spread. Like, that's pretty much everybody's goal in life, is to obtain more power. Most of us only achieve like a sliver of a hair's worth of quote unquote power. And then we've got the pro-maskers and pro-vaxxers out there who are just like, they didn't have any power before, and now they have this crutch that they can use and call it power to beat other people over the head with, and they feel like they have power. So that's a different thing. But the people in power, and like, everybody always just wants more of that, and that's their driving motivation, I believe. And maybe Satanism, who knows? But power is obviously the main factor here, and they're not going to give it back. Before 9/11, we didn't get groped on airports ever. We didn't have to go through this stringent TSA. We didn't have to take off our shoes and shit like that. I mean, when I say we, I mean people, because I wasn't old enough to fly on my own yet, and my parents didn't fly me. But anyway, that was a temporary thing. Just like Emperor Palpatine in Star Wars. He got the temporary power, and then he said he would give it right back after he's done with it. As they always do, we keep allowing them to have the power because they keep promising us the normal will return if we give them just a little bit more time and a little bit more power. It's not happening. It's not happening unless we actually take it back, which is what we have to do. Anyway, that was a lot of diatribe over 2 lines in a song, so let's continue.
Dig yourself a grave for the American dream.
And that was the end. I dig it. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point. It'll get him a lot of rage and a lot of anger, and but in all the good ways. I feel like this is somebody who's, I love Tom. I think that I think that he's great. I love most of his songs. The vast majority of his catalog I love. But there are some times where it's like, all right, are we talking about that again? Are we just going for controversy for the clicks? I don't think that Tom always is. A lot of people give him a bad rep for constantly talking about some of the same things. I love it as long as the song bangs and it gets my attention and it's it's got a message. I'm down. I'm into it and interested. But a lot of people give him crap for being too repetitive. I don't feel like 5 Times August is doing that. I could be proven wrong, but he's just writing protest songs. And I suppose that's what Tom's doing as well. 5 Times August is writing, I feel like, more evergreen protest songs, things that will stand the test of time. Because while he's talking about things that are specifically happening in our current day and age, he's also writing things that, like, his lyrics on their own aren't super specific. Like in the Sad Little Man song, he doesn't say names. He doesn't say what the exact thing is that he's talking about. He artfully does it in a way that, makes you think a little bit. And if we know anything about history, is that it keeps repeating and gets worse every time the snowball happens. But 5 Times August stuff will be relevant, I think, longer into the future than Tom MacDonald's will. But that's fine, because 5 Times August releases like a song every couple months or so, I think. And this is a fairly new endeavor for him. Tom MacDonald puts out frickin' new music he puts out a new album like every other week. So it's okay if Tom has some stuff that the kids might scratch their heads about in the future. Hopefully they do. Hopefully all of this stuff is completely irrelevant in the future and makes absolutely no sense. And I'm pretty sure both of them, and I've spoken with both of them at length, I'm pretty sure both of them would agree that if their music was irrelevant, then mission accomplished. Like, that's kind of the point for protest songs. So hat off to both of them. I know this is a 5 Times August video, but giving shout outs to Tom because he's got a new one out today too. Go check it out and go check this out. Maybe you can enjoy it without me talking over it the whole time on your own. But yeah, support the bands, support the artists that are speaking out against the bullshit in the world, because there's not many. With all the protest artists that we've had in history, with all the Neil Youngs, ironically, stuff like that, like even like John Lennon and stuff, like people speaking out against the atrocities in the world. And I say John Lennon, I don't know what all he was about. I know he was anti-war, so I dig him on that. But yeah, the people who speak out against, or speak truth to power, quote unquote, we need more of that. And it's kind of astounding how we have so little. How all these bands, all these artists like Green Day, Rage Against the Machine, Newfound Glory, The Offspring, all these punk rock bands, all these anti-establishment bands, all these don't want to be an American idiot bands turned into American idiots who are fuck you, we'll do it, or do what we tell you, basically. It's sad, and it's, quite frankly, it's horrifying. Like, because if those people are just eating it up hook, line, and sinker, then you know that there weren't as many rebels in the world as you thought there were. Hopefully their lyrics turned people into actual rebels, like myself, and then that stuck, and the rebels don't change their minds when the bands show their true colors. But my hat goes off to people like Tom, people like 5 Times August, for doing the thing that we need. Of all, like, in all of those bands' existence and lifetime, I feel like we probably need it. Like, I'm not comparing this to like World War II necessarily or anything. Like, I could see that being more value to protest that, but right now, this the vast majority of these bands have never seen anything nearly or even remotely close to this. I don't know, maybe it's worse than World War II. I'm going to get in trouble for that one. But this impacts everybody, everywhere, all around the world, and the fact that we don't have protesters writing music, making art. That is what the establishment fears. That is what the king is afraid of. He's afraid of laughter. He's afraid of people poking fun. Like, that's always the thing that rallies the most people and devalidates, I suppose, invalidates the king and the authorities. So the system is down, folks, and let's keep pointing and laughing at it and doing as these brave individuals do. So best of luck to 5 Times August. Best of luck to Tom McDonald, and hope they're all safe and good and well and get good reactions from these. And yeah, so that concludes this. Thank you for tuning in or whatever you're doing, listening, viewing, whatever. If you want more stuff like this, hey, I've got a whole channel on YouTube and Odyssey, preferably Odyssey, because YouTube hates me. But if you want more of that, go on over to patreon.com/The System Is Down and join the Downers Club for as little as the cost of one super chat per month, because YouTube doesn't let me take any money. They never have. Yeah, go join that. You'll get bonus episodes of the show every single week. You'll get the Book of Boba Fett recaps. You'll get the after parties. You'll get the extended interviews, things with people like Dave Smith and Tom McDonald and stuff like that. Go join. Support the show if you like it and you want it more. Help me out over at patreon.com/The System Is Down. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for hanging out today. And I will talk to you, I don't know when. Maybe I'll do another episode before. I don't know. I'm off schedule lately because of a lot of technical internet freaking reasons, as you're probably familiar. But thank you for being here. I will talk to you whenever I do. Until then, question everything, stay uncomfortable, and we'll see you around. Peace out.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe on your way out and help us change the world one uncomfortable conversation at a time. And if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/The System Is Down for bonus episodes of the show every single week. Until next time, please continue to question everything, stay uncomfortable, and I'll talk to you then. Thanks.
This has been a Goulash Media production. goulashmedia.net.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.